I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And today we're taking a look at Everdell Silverfrost. This is
the latest
215th entry. Now, there's Everdell, a very popular game, which has had many expansions, a gigantic box. There is an Everdell Duel, which I played, but there's also been My Little Everdell, which I have not played. You have.
Yeah, it's friendlier to children, though I would not call it a kid's game. And then there's also Far Shore, which was another spin-off. That would be Far Shore was the first game in what they're calling the Edge of the Map series. And then this is the second one. They have a made-up map of Everdell, and then like 4 cardinal directions leading from there. Far Shore was one. Silverfrost is another one.
I'm gonna guess
literally just announced the next. They just announced the next one. Yeah. And there's one more after that, I'm guessing.
So you don't need to own Everdell to buy this, which is a little confusing. But I mean, I guess you just look at Silverfrost. You call it that.
Yeah.
Although it is a lot of DNA with Everdell. We'll talk about that in a bit. So I thought it'd be interesting. We have 2 different opinions here. I mean, not 2 different opinions, but 2 different things. You played everything Everdell. I've played just a bit of Everdell comparatively.
Okay.
Z's going to show us how it plays, and we'll be right back.
Here we're taking a look at the game setup for 2 players. Every player is going to begin with 2 characters, one of them donning these snowshoes. That's your ranger. You begin with 1 fire, a handful of cards, and then 1 of these objectives over here. And so we've got 2 players. And then we've got the board with everything set up already, all the different locations, and the mountain, which you could normally set up above the board, but I put over here for the sake of space. So in the game, you're going to be playing through 3 seasons. These seasons up here at the end of all 3 of those, once everyone has passed on the last one, you are going to get some victory points and figure out who the winner is. This symbol here stands for victory points. You'll get some in-game over here, and then some at the end of the game from cards you've played, locations you've gone to, things like that. Also achievements you've completed. And so on your turn, you're going to be doing one of 3 things. You're going to either place a worker on a location out here or possibly a card in front of a player. You are going to play a card by spending the resources necessary to display that card in front of you. You have a space limit of 15 cards for the entire game, or you prepare for the next season and then follow some steps up here and get ready for the next season. And I'll come back to that in just 1 second. So worker placement, if you choose to do that, you can go to one of these basic locations where you can get some birch, you can get some moss, some of this mineral here, some of the acorns, also draw some cards. You can go to the hot springs here, get some fire and some cards. Go here to the guild where you can draw some of these special cards and hope to complete them. The forge lets you discard cards for any resource you want. And then journey, which is only opened during the last season. So you'll only go here near the end of the game. So that is everything that is available to you. I will point out, by the way, that the moss resource that comes with the game does not look anything like this. They are fiddly and small and easily lost. So this is what you get for right now. It does not look like that. Just FYI. All right, so that's the one of the things you can do. If a location is taken, nobody else can go there if it looks like this. If it's one of these, multiple people can go there. It's possible also it has a requirement of the fire to go there. But that is one of the things that this game introduces is the ranger here. The ranger can go where somebody else is. If this character is already here, the ranger could go there as long as the other character is not one of your own and not a ranger. Also, if the ranger goes somewhere that is not occupied, then instead you gain a flame. And the flames are going to be helpful for a variety of things. So that is one of the things that ties to the workers. As far as playing cards goes, that could be your action as well. It will not require a worker. You have to spend the resources down the side and play that card in front of you. It might trigger something immediately or once only, or is an ongoing new worker placement location, possibly endgame scoring if it's one of these purple cards. There's a variety of these. and you will be building your tableau with these cards. Again, paying the cost on the side and then activating whatever it does. They'll have their own number of victory points, and you will also possibly be activating the chimney locations on these to bring a character into play to cheat a character out without having to pay that character's cost in acorns. I'll talk about that in just 1 second, but I'll leave that out to remind me. So that is how the card playing goes. One new location I want to talk about is this up here. If you go there, and in a 2-player game, only 2 of these are open, by the way, it's going to cost you some fire, but then you select one of these big critters, and you'll trigger their ability, as well as possibly get some victory points. Then that's discarded, and then everything's going to scoot over, and we reveal a new one. These are going to have very strong abilities, but it is costly to go there because of that flame. So just be aware of that. These represents bigger critters that pass by and help you, but they're not physically represented by anything in this game. And so the third option on your turn, instead of placing a worker playing a card, is to pass the season from one season to the next. Not everybody needs to do this at the same time. Some players may already be in winter while other players are in the season before, and that's fine. So when you pass the season, you're going to gain some resources at the top there. It says you get 1 flame for every card in your city. So you'll get some of those. You're also going to reclaim your workers from wherever they are. You'll take them back into your supply, and you'll get a new one. So once I pass, I will take this character here and add it to my pool, and I'll go into the next season with 3 of these. You also get a chimney, one of these chimneys, and the chimney lets you, on your turn, place that chimney on a card that has a placement location for it to deploy a free critter based on this location. So in this case, it has to be that card type. I have to pay flame. If I do that, I'll be able to play one of my cards without paying the cost, simply by placing out the chimney and the flame, putting that back in the supply. So that's what the chimneys do. You'll get 1 during the first season change, 1 during the second season change. Besides that, you're going to activate some cards in front of you, and then some snow is going to come out onto the board and onto your player area. So here's how that works. You're going to be revealing a card. It says there for 2 players, I'm going to be revealing 2 of these. You flip that over, and this lets you know that snow is going to cover this location. So I grab one of these, and I put it on that spot. That spot is not available to us. And then I do it again. There should be 2 of these, right? Okay, this one puts snow here. So that spot is not available to us. There's also then, you have to put snow on 3 cards in your city. And so if I only have these 2, let's say, I don't know how I would, but let's pretend, then they both have snow on them. Now, you can get rid of snow by spending flames. You can get rid of snow from 1 card per turn in front of you, putting one of these back and removing this. That makes it available, makes the card basically not be blanked. And then out here and up here, you can spend 1 flame to go there. You would do that as you are doing the thing. So if I want to go here, but it's snowed over, I would have to simultaneously be spending 1 of these to go there. I could even do it with my ranger, by the way. If I have no flames, I can send the ranger there with the flame I am making. I spend it, melt this away, and I'm able to take that action. So some of these locations will be covered up. Also, the cards in the center of the table that you could actually pay for and build from the center sometimes will have snow on them themselves. You can't have access to that one unless you melt that snow with a flame. And so that's what's going on. There's a few other things that are happening here. This explains the cost to melt that snow. As the game progresses, this flips over and it becomes harder. The winter becomes more harsh. And then there's also this at the end of the game that's also double-sided, 2 different ways to play. And it explains that you're going to get some victory points at the end of the game for every snow you melted. When you melt this snow, for example, you keep these in a pile in front of you, and at the end of the game, you'll get victory points for having done that. So there you go. That is generally what's going on in the game. Go through all of those seasons, gaining new characters, putting out more snow, reactivating some of your cards, until We've gone through them all. We've all passed on the final season. And then whoever has the most victory points is going to be the winner of the game.
Component-wise, I think the game is mostly good. I've always been an anti-Everdell tree guy.
Yeah, and this has the mountain, which suffers from the same issues as the tree in the original
Actually,
Everdell.
it has an extra annoying issue of you're supposed to put all the snow in that top thing, and first of all, barely fits.
Yeah.
And every time you pull it out, you're going to knock the mountain over. Happily, they have an
alternative you can just play, which is what you saw. Okay, I did not build the mountain. And the problem with the mountain is very easy. It's one-sided, you know. Everybody needs to sit on the same side of the table if you want to play with the mountain. And the board is quite deep, the sort of pentagonal sort of shaped board. And it's hard to reach the mountain if you're on this side of the table. It's not great. Look, I get it. Somebody must like these things. They keep making them, but I'm not a fan. So I'm thankful they include just a little small cardboard piece that you can just lay on the table, play from that. You lose nothing. It's silly. It's wasteful, in my opinion, but if somebody likes it, cool. More power to you.
So Everdell is one of those games that I think, and you would know better than me, that has been slowly evolved as the years have gone by.
Right.
Because I played this, and the last game I played was Everdell Duel, and I'm like, oh, there seems to be some changes here. Like, I remember if you had a church, you needed the preacher in the church. If you had a doctor's office, you needed a doctor. Now you can put a lumberjack in the library if the symbols match.
Yeah, they got away from that pretty quickly after the original Everdell. Every spin-off has done away with the from the church you can play the priest. Yeah, now it's from a building you can play any other critter a limited number of times. That's the trick. Far Shore did that. And this one does it with the chimneys, though they changed it here where they dole out 2 chimneys slowly, which is different. In the original, in Far Shore, they give you like 3 whatevers they are, anchors or something. They're like, here, that's what you have for the whole game. Don't spend it all in one place. That's it. I like this way to do it. I think it's good, doling that out. And, of course, the big thing here, the evolutions that Everdell has done have been generally for the best, and this implements quite a few of those things and brings some new ones. The game now is, of course, centered around this idea of dumping a metric ton of snow on you and having you deal with that. So the game feels much more punishing, much more calculated, both on the central board, which is going to block some things and some options, and you have to bury them out or dig them out. And then in front of you as well. You have to dig that out as well.
I don't understand thematically why the final season doesn't melt some of the snow.
The final season dumps less on you.
Sure.
But you still don't... I in my head, think of it as that snow is compacted from the winter, and it still takes 2 flames. So yes, but it gets nastier, harder. It's the game can be punishing, and I think that's part of what some people might like or might not like is the game's does less hand-holding. Makes the decisions you make are a little more impactful because some things just might not work or might not be available to you. I did not dislike that, but I could definitely see it being the sticking point in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it's Everdell with snow. I mean, if your liking and dislike of Everdell, I don't think will be changed particularly. I mean, maybe the snow, right? But what I'm saying is I don't think it would be weird to me that the snow would make you like it unless you're someone who likes a tighter game. I
think that's it. This game is a tighter game. There is a little more interaction with the other players. There are more places for competition, it feels like, in this game than in the original Everdell is. A bit more easy, pastoral, go with the flow, and every now and then it's like, ooh, the monk goes in the thing. Yay, I get the free monk. This one's not that. This one you kind of got to claw your way to whatever it is you want to do, and you're often one flame short from digging something else you would really love to have, or you gotta the goals you're completing in game. I really like that. You can go there and complete the goal in game. You can't just be like, I did this, I'll score it at the end of the game. You got to cash that in with a worker placement. They also do the whole grande worker type thing, right, where they have a guy with snowshoes, and he can go where somebody else has been.
Yeah, a small note. Why does a bird need snowshoes? But okay.
Because it helps, baby.
But yes, the snowshoes are cute, and people are going to love that.
Yeah.
My people's wearing snowshoes. Mm-hmm. I am not a huge fan of Everdell. There's a few things about it that just I don't love. I don't love the ramping up of the game, where it's like, hey, the first turn, and you're like, that's it, this game's going to end. And then the last turn is really long.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily love that people are in different sections. I don't know what it is. Getting the resources and stuff is fine. There's lots of games that do that. And the cuteness is very high up there. The snow thing just felt like an annoyance to me more than anything else.
Yeah.
I did like the large creatures. Mm-hmm. I thought those were
Super
amazing.
strong, yeah.
They're like terrific spots. But that was dimmed when the snow showed up and covered those spots. And then I would have to sit there and go, well, it cost me a fire to go to that spot. Now I need to pay 2 more.
Yeah.
And as an aside, I also really disliked that if somebody is running the game fast, they can make the heavy snow come faster. And I'm still behind another season.
I see,
thought
yeah.
that I found to be actually pretty annoying because as soon as one person flips that tile, it doesn't unflip, and you might be like rush. I don't know how to explain it, but it just
If somebody's setting the pace, they might leave you behind and feel a little more punishing, I guess.
yeah. Usually, if you get left behind, you're like, well, I'm going to be taking a lot of turns at the end,
Right.
But I don't know. What did you think about the snow?
I like it. I think it's an interesting. Yes, punishing, but it's just to me, it's just a new element of something I need to deal with. Just like I have to collect 5 acorns if I want to play this guy. Well, if I want to go to that position that gets me the 4 or 3 birch or whatever, then I need to dig it out. I need flames to melt the snow. I will say, if I was melting that snow and it just went away and I got nothing, I'd be sort of less forgiving of that punishing mechanism, but you score that stuff at the end.
Well, on that note, I will never play with
The other side.
with the side that says whoever has the most snow gets points and everyone else gets nothing.
Yes, it's pretty
No, you're
nasty.
giving me a point for every snow I melt.
Yeah.
It also leads to a weird situation at the end of the game where you're just like, melt everything off all my buildings.
It builds up.
Because if you don't score points. And this to me is just an alternate way of feed my people.
Yeah.
It's just now melt the snow. Thematically wise, I get it. I didn't hate it. I just found it to be annoying. And I think I would rather play without it. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming, what's the last one? Silverdale? Silverton?
The last one standalone.
Far Shore,
yeah.
Far Shore doesn't have snow?
No.
I probably like that better then.
Yeah, Far Shore is definitely has some of those things that they massaged out of Everdell. The specificity of the goals, which I was never a fan of. That's the first thing that needed to go, and it did. The very specific connection between a building and a character, all of that stuff sort of got massaged away already in Far Shore, and the game is less punishing. You probably would like it better. I like it a little bit better. But I like this one when I want something that puts me in that like Skyrim mindset that everything is like, I like this. It's very thinky. There's some interesting interaction in this game that I think is not even in Far Shore. That's sort of like, check that you have more than your neighbor of this thing. Check that, you can't do this thing unless, or give a flame. Sometimes you do something that gets you 3 flames, but you have to give one to the player on your left. There are some intricacies there and some connectedness that isn't in any of the other ones.
I think it's a really cool look. I don't hate games where I get resources and spend them.
Right.
And this game has a huge deck of cards with all sorts of cool things to build, and you have to decide, do I want to build things that give me resources over a couple rounds, or do I want to build something that gives me something now, or end game scoring? That's good. That's all in the original Everdell. But I think, like I said, they streamlined it here. It's easier. Those 2 chimneys, which you should use.
Yeah.
Gives you some more actions. And then the snowshoes. I'm a big fan of, I really need to go to that spot. I can. Yes, it'd be better to go to another spot, get the extra fire. But I can go to a spot someone else goes to, and I probably will.
Right.
I mean, in the first couple rounds, you might not. But those last 2 seasons, you're like, well, I need to go to this spot.
And you also, unfortunately, later in the game is also when you want more flames, so you also might send them somewhere or you don't.
Oh, that's true.
It's a balancing act. Look, I'm not going to want to play this Everdell version every time, I think. I have to be in the right frame of mind to play one that's working. I'm not just working against my opponents, but the game a little bit. But I did enjoy it. I do like Far Shore better.
Yeah, for me, this is a 6. It is the same rating I give Everdell. I don't dislike the games, and I get their appeal. It's just the ebb and the flow of the game annoys me a little, and the snow annoys me a little.
Yeah.
So between those, I'd probably play Everdell over this, maybe, or I have to go try the other one.
Yeah.
But I also can see why people are going to like this one a lot, and I
Sure.
do wonder that some people who are Rosenberg fans, which I am one of, but Rosenberg fans might come in and be like, ooh, so it's harder now? All right, I'm in.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think people are gravitating towards this because it will be a little more demanding of the players. For me, I rate Far Shore a 9. I really like Far Shore. I think it's a fantastic game. I'm coming in at an 8 for this one. Really, really good. I am flip-flopped when it comes to Everdell and this. I think I would not play Everdell when this is available or Far Shore is available. Those things that were mildly annoying at first have now become sticking points for me.
Well, sure, but I mean, I might want to play the other one instead of this. Maybe not original Everdell.
Yeah.
Or maybe Everdell with an expansion or something.
Right, exactly. So yeah, for me, Silverfrost is really good. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I think it's captivating. It's very well put together visually. The components, there's a couple of things I don't love, but they're not a big deal. And the gameplay, I find rich, and I have a great time with it. So yeah, for me, it gets an 8 out of 10.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Everdell Silverfrost. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And we'll stay out of the snow. Because we live in Florida.
Oh.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.